Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives will be debating and voting on 3 bills, 1 resolution, and a joint resolution this week, April 17th through April 23rd. The 3 bills being voted on this week are the Countering Untrusted Telecommunications Abroad Act, the Upholding Sovereignty of Airspace Act, and the Protecting of Women and Girls in Sports Act of 2023. The resolution being voted on this week is condemning recent actions taken by the Russian military to down a United States Air Force drone. And the joint resolution being voted on this week is the Disapproving the action of the District of Columbia Council and approving the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Amendment Act of 2022. But what exactly are all these bills about? Let's begin with the Countering Untrusted Telecommunications Abroad Act. The bill was introduced on February 21, 2023 by Democratic Representative Susan Wild from Pennsylvania's 7th District. The bill was also co-sponsored by the American Samoa delegate to Congress, Amua Amada Coleman Raidwagon. The bill aims to establish certain reporting and other requirements relating to telecommunications equipment and services produced or provided by certain entities and for other purposes. Essentially, the purpose of Countering Untrusted Telecommunications Abroad Act looks to identify any telecommunication devices, cell phone towers, computers, cell phones, 5G, etc., which have been made with technologies by companies who are based in the People's Republic of China, like Hawaii and ZTE Corporation, and the countries that are allies with the United States. The bill states it is in the economic and national security interest of the United States to ensure that countries around the globe use trusted telecommunications equipment of services. If the bill is passed no later than 180 days after the enactment, and every 2 years, the Secretary of State shall submit a report on the untrusted telecommunications equipment in the networks of our allies to the Foreign Affairs and Energy and Commerce Committees of the House of Representatives. The report shall detail what communication devices are compromised, how they are compromised, and if the country has any plan to replace the untrusted telecommunications equipment. The bill also asks for a report on any use of covered telecommunications equipment or services in the United States embassies and embassy staff and personnel. This bill will likely pass in the House of Representatives as both parties are keen on protecting the national security of the United States. Next, let's take a look at the Upholding Sovereignty of Airspace Act, or the USA Act, which was introduced on February 24, 2023 following the actions of the Chinese sending a spy balloon across the United States. It was introduced by Democratic Representative Gregory Meeks from New York's 5th District and was co-sponsored by Representative Michael McCall, David Cicilline, and Colin Allred. The bill looks to hold the People's Republic of China accountable for the violation of United States airspace and sovereignty with its high-altitude surveillance balloon. The United States will hold the People's Republic of China accountable with international coordination and pressure, the imposition of export controls, and imposing sanctions. International coordination and pressure will include using the voice of the United States at International Civil Aviation Organization to support Taiwan's participation in the events and meetings of that organization, and in the United Nations and other regional and international organizations, sharing intelligence about the People's Republic of China's global balloon program with allies and partners, and coordinating with allies to identify future surveillance balloons and countering them. The imposition of export controls include a report from the Secretary of Commerce outlining any items and technology subject to U.S. jurisdiction that might be used by the People's Liberation Army for intelligence and reconnaissance. The report will also detail what the Bureau of Industry and Security plans to implement to stop the exportation of technologies used in spying to the People's Republic of China. Sanctions imposed on the People's Republic of China include property blocking, revoking immigration visas, but not sanctioning any natural or man-made substance, material, supply, or manufactured product, including inspection and testing equipment. This bill also has a high likelihood of passing as both Republicans and Democrats are keen on the national security of the United States. The next bill on the agenda is the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act of 2023. The bill was introduced on February 1st by Republican Representative Gregory Stubbe from Florida's 17th District. The bill was co-sponsored by 93 other Republicans with no Democrats coming across the aisle. The bill aims to amend the Education Amendments of 1972 to provide that for purposes of determining compliance with the Title IX of such act in athletics, sex shall be recognized based solely on a person's reproductive biology and genetics at birth. This is simply a bill to add a provision to the Education Amendments of 1972 to make it a violation for any recipient of federal financial assistance who operates, sponsors, or facilitates athletic programs or activities to permit a person whose sex is male to participate in an athletic program or activity that is designated for women or girls. Nobody born male will be able to participate in any sport or activity that is designated for women. The bill also states that it will not deprive any males from training or practicing with an athletic program or activity that is designated for women or girls so long as no female is deprived of an active roster spot. This bill will also likely pass, but with no support from Democrats. This bill will be voted along party lines. The one and only resolution being voted on this week is the condemning recent actions taken by the Russian military to down a United States Air Force drone as amended. The bill states, whereas United States European Command released footage confirming that 2 Russian Su-27 fighter jets acted unprofessionally and in a reckless reckless manner when intercepting and downing a U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone on March 14, 2023. Whereas a United States Air Force drone was acting safely and responsibly in international airspace and in accordance with international law, and whereas the 2 fighter jets released fuel and bumped into the drone, resulting in the drone crash landing in the Black Sea. The bill goes on to condemn Russia and its military for its actions. This resolution will pass unanimously. The joint resolution being voted on this week was introduced on March 9, 2023 by Representative Andrew Clyde from Georgia's 9th District. The bill was co-sponsored by Representatives Lauren Boebert, Joe Wilson, Ronnie Jackson, Anna Paulina Luna, and 19 other Republicans. The resolution reads as follows: that the Congress disapproves of the action of the District of Columbia Council described as follows: the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Amendment Act of 2022, enacted by the Council of the District of Columbia on January 19, 2023, and transmitted to Congress pursuant to Section 602C1 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act of January 26, 2023. Comment whether you think this bill will pass or not. If you made it this far into the video, I thank you for watching. Please leave a like, a comment about these bills, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. The House will be in session again next week, so be on the lookout for another video informing you of the bills being voted on.